Imagine waking up one morning and finding out that a computer can do your job.
Yeah, that is a really scary thought.
Welcome to the debate. Today we are talking about a question that is on everyone's mind right now. Will AI take your job?
It is definitely the big question these days.
Right. And we are looking at this using some big reports from places like the World Economic Forum, McKinsey, PwC, and Goldman Sachs.
Some really heavy hitters.
Yeah, exactly. But before we jump into the deep end, let's just quickly talk about what AI actually is, just in simple terms.
Good idea.
So AI, or artificial intelligence, is basically a very smart computer program. It learns from a lot of data, and it can do things like write emails, read long documents, and just answer questions.
Right, and it's becoming so popular right now because it is helping people work much faster. It can even come up with new ideas.
Exactly. It's not just a toy anymore. It's doing real work. So my position today is that AI is actually a helpful partner. I think it will change how we work for the better, create new jobs, and just make us all more productive.
Okay. Well, I see it a bit differently. I think AI is a real threat to a lot of workers. And yes, it might create some jobs, but I believe it will replace many others, especially for young people and beginners.
Well, let's get right into it then. I want to start by looking at some history.
Okay.
Because every time we get a huge new piece of technology, like computers or the internet, people always panic. They think all the jobs will disappear.
Sure, people get worried.
Right, but it usually doesn't happen. And I see AI as what I call a job expander. It doesn't kill jobs, it grows them.
A job expander? How do you mean?
Well, look at the recent data from PwC. They found that companies using AI right now have a 40% higher productivity growth.
Wow, 40%?
Yeah, 40%. And that doesn't mean they are firing people to save money. It means the workers are doing more interesting things. AI takes over the boring, routine parts of the job.
Like what kind of parts?
Like typing out basic emails or checking numbers on a spreadsheet. When the computer does that, the human has time to do the creative work, the problem solving.
Right.
And the World Economic Forum actually predicts this. They say, yes, maybe 85 million jobs will be lost to AI, which sounds bad.
It sounds very bad. That's a lot of people.
It is. But wait, they also say 97 million totally new jobs will be created.
I see.
So that is actually more jobs in the end. 12 million more jobs.
I mean, I hear those numbers, but I just think this time is different.
Why is it different?
Because in the past, machines did physical work, like tractors on a farm, or they just did basic math. But today, AI can do thinking tasks.
Thinking tasks, right.
Yes, it can understand a situation, it can write computer code, and it can make decisions. That is very different from a tractor.
Okay, that's fair.
And if you look at the Goldman Sachs report, they say 300 million jobs around the world are exposed to AI. 300 million.
But exposed just means the job will change, not that it will disappear.
Well, for a lot of people, it means the job is gone. The job security meters showed that over 100,000 tech jobs were already lost in the first part of 2026.
Yeah, I did see that.
And a lot of those companies cut those jobs specifically to save money by using AI. Look at the company Klarna. Have you seen what they are doing?
The payment company? Yeah, I read a little bit about that.
Right. So Klarna announced they want to cut their workforce from 7,000 people down to 2,000 people.
That is a huge drop.
It's massive. They want to get rid of 5,000 jobs because AI can do the work now. They call it the boomerang effect. The company gets smaller to become more profitable.
Okay, but let's look at how they are actually doing that.
Well, they aren't just giving their workers a helpful tool. They put the AI directly into their customer service system. So the AI handles the refunds, it fixes billing problems, all of that.
Right, but
those 5,000 workers are not getting to do fun, creative strategy work now. They're just losing their jobs.
place a whole job or just some tasks?
Okay, tell me the difference.
A normal job is not just one thing. It's a bunch of different tasks put together. Maybe 20% of your job is answering boring questions or finding data.
Sure.
If AI does that 20%, the boss doesn't fire you. You just get that 20% of your day back.
But why wouldn't the boss fire you?
Because now you can spend that time on things that actually make money for the company, like talking to clients. Let's say AI makes one worker 10 times faster.
Right.
The company doesn't say, oh, we will just fire everyone else. They say, let's build 10 times as many products. It's called the Jevons paradox. When something is easier to do, people just want more of it.
But that assumes the company wants to grow bigger. What if the boss just wants to save money?
Well, most companies want to grow.
I don't know. If an AI makes one worker 10 times faster at reading papers, I think the easiest thing for a company to do is keep that one fast worker and fire the other 9.
I think that's a very negative way to look at it.
It's a business way to look at it, and this brings up a really big problem for certain people. Have you looked at the OECD data on this?
Remind me what they found.
They found that women are at a much higher risk of losing their jobs to AI right now.
Oh, right, because of the types of jobs.
Exactly. Women hold a very high percentage of administrative jobs, office roles like data entry, basic customer service, and translators.
Yeah, those desk jobs.
Right. These are jobs where the computer can do almost all the tasks, not just 20%. The AI can type the data and translate the paper perfectly right now, so we might see a huge group of office workers just lose their jobs entirely.
I hear you. The office jobs are definitely changing fast, but I want to use a story to explain why humans are still so important.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is an idea from a school at Harvard. Do you know the old TV show Star Trek?
Oh yeah, with the spaceship.
Yeah, the Spaceship Enterprise. So think about the captain, Captain Picard, and think about the robot character on his ship, Data.
Okay, the guy with the pale face.
Exactly. So Data is basically an AI. He is a computer. He can read 1 million pages in 1 second. He processes all the information instantly.
Right, he's super smart.
Yes, but Data's not the captain. Picard is the captain.
Okay, why?
Because Picard is human, he has empathy, he has life experience, he can make the final choice based on what is right, not just what the math says.
I see where you're going with this.
Right. So in a real office, the AI is Data. It will read the long contracts, it will find the mistakes, but the human worker is Captain Picard. The human decides if the contract is actually good for the company, the human looks the client in the eye and shakes their hand.
Okay, I mean, that's a nice story.
It shows that jobs needing deep human connection and safe judgment are not going anywhere.
But wait, does a nice science fiction story really help the customer service worker who just got fired?
Well, it shows how the job changes. We stop creating the basic text and we start managing the AI.
Yeah, but not everyone gets to be Captain Picard.
What do you mean?
Most workers are not the captain. They are just regular people trying to pay for their house. You are saying AI helps people become these high-level managers. But I see a big problem happening. I call it a two-track job market.
A two-track job market? How does that work?
So on track number 1, you have the experts, the bosses. They use AI and they become super fast. They do great.
Right, they get more productive.
Yes, but on track number 2, you have the regular workers. Their whole job was doing the simple tasks, writing the first draft of a paper or putting numbers in a list.
Yeah.
Because AI does that instantly now, those regular workers get pushed out. They are hitting what we call a silicon ceiling.
A silicon ceiling? Like a wall they can't get past?
Exactly. Think about a young marketing worker. Before, they got promoted because they were really good at writing basic ads and organizing schedules.
Right. That's how you show you are a hard worker.
Yes. But now the AI writes the ads in 5 seconds, and the boss just uses the AI to organize the schedule. So the young worker just sits there clicking approve on the computer all day.
You think they get stuck?
They get totally stuck. The bosses pull the ladder up, and the regular workers can't climb up anymore.
Well, I have to push back on that because the real numbers show something very different if you actually learn to use the AI.
What numbers?
PwC looked at salaries recently. They found that workers who have AI skills get paid 56% more money.
56%? That's a huge pay bump.
It is a massive raise. And here's why. When you take away the boring stuff, like planning meetings and writing simple emails, you give that young marketing worker free time.
Time to do what, though?
Time to learn the big strategies. Now, instead of managing one small project,
That young worker can use AI to manage 5 big projects at the same time.
Okay.
They just have to change. They stop being someone who just does small tasks, and they become a person who manages the AI. If they do that, they become very valuable and their pay goes way up.
Okay, but you are skipping over a really big problem here. How does a brand new worker ever get good enough to be a manager if the computer's doing all the beginner work?
Well, they just learn different skills.
But this is the biggest danger to me, the entry-level problem. What happens to the young people?
Go on.
Think about a young lawyer. How do they become a senior boss? They spend their first 3 years sitting in a small room, reading thousands of boring old cases.
Right, doing all the heavy reading.
Yes, and it is super boring. But that boring work is how they practice. That is how they learn how the law works. Now, an AI can read 10,000 cases in 4 seconds.
Which is amazing.
It's amazing for the boss, yes. But if the machine does all that beginner work, how does a 22-year-old practice? How do they ever learn enough to become a boss later?
It is definitely a challenge. The way we learn is going to change.
The data says it's already hurting young people. Research from a company called Anthropic shows that hiring for young, beginner workers in these jobs has dropped by 14% just this year.
14% drop in beginner jobs. That is significant.
Exactly. Companies are looking around and saying, why hire 5 beginners when we can just buy 1 AI program for our senior guy? If young people can't get that first job to practice, the whole system breaks.
I agree the old way of learning is changing. But you are assuming that doing boring, slow work is the only way to learn.
Well, how else do you practice?
I have another analogy from Harvard that explains this perfectly. Think about how a pilot learns to fly an airplane.
Okay, a pilot.
Right. 50 years ago, if you wanted to be a pilot, you had to get in a real plane and fly it. It was expensive, it took a long time, and it was really dangerous.
Yeah, if you make a mistake, you crash.
Exactly. But today, pilots practice in a flight simulator on a computer.
Oh, I see.
In a computer simulator, a young pilot can practice flying in a terrible storm 10 times in one day. They learn so fast because it is safe.
So how does a flight simulator help an office worker?
AI is the simulator for office workers. A young finance worker doesn't have to spend a whole week building one boring math model and worrying they made a mistake.
Right.
Now they can use AI to build 10 different models in one afternoon. If they make a mistake, the AI tells them right away. It says, hey, this number is wrong, and here is why.
So they get feedback instantly?
Exactly. It's safe practice. Yes, we are asking young people to think like bosses a little earlier, but because they can practice so fast with the AI, they learn the hard stuff in much less time.
I mean, that sounds good in theory, but asking a 22-year-old beginner to just think like a boss on day 1 is a huge jump.
It's a jump, but they have the AI to help them.
But the computer can't teach them everything. Like, an AI might find a math mistake, but will it teach the young worker how to understand a difficult client? Will it teach them human empathy?
Well, no, of course not.
Right. You can't learn human skills in a computer simulator in one afternoon. And you said earlier that AI creates totally new jobs, right?
Yes, many new jobs.
I think we need to be honest about what those jobs are.
Well, we are already seeing them. There are jobs today that didn't exist a few years ago, like AI stewards.
What does an AI steward do?
Their whole job is just to check the AI's work. They make sure the AI isn't making up lies or doing something against the company rules.
Okay, someone has to watch the machine.
Right. And there are AI architects. These are people who design how the AI connects to different parts of a business. There is going to be a huge new industry just for managing this technology.
Sure, I agree those jobs will exist. But let's think about the numbers. Will there be 5,000 AI architect jobs to replace the 5,000 customer service workers that Klarna fired?
Well,
Absolutely not. You might need 10 really smart computer engineers to build an AI, but that one AI will replace 10,000 normal workers. The numbers just don't match up.
it's never a one-to-one match inside the exact same company. That's not how the economy works.
What do you mean?
Think about cars. When the car was invented, it destroyed all the jobs for people making horse carriages.
Right.
But the car created highways and hotels and gas stations and delivery jobs. The whole world got bigger.
Okay, I understand the car example.
So to get ready for this new world, people need to learn what we call durable skills.
Durable skills? Like strong skills?
Yes, things that a computer just cannot do. AI cannot solve an angry fight between two human managers. It cannot cheer up a sad team. It doesn't have real human teamwork. If you learn to work well with people, your job is very safe.
That sounds very nice for someone who has the time and money to go back to school and learn high-level skills. But what about everyone else?
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the size of the problem. McKinsey estimates that 1 billion workers around the world will need to learn completely new skills by the year 2030.
1 billion people. That is a lot.
That is 1 out of every 8 people on Earth. It is a giant problem. You can't just say to 1 billion people, oh, just learn teamwork and manage the AI.
Well, companies will have to train them.
But will they? Everything is changing so fast. If the government and big companies don't spend a lot of money to help teach these workers, millions of normal people are going to be left behind. This isn't just a small change. It is going to be very, very hard for regular middle-class workers.
Look, whenever the economy changes this much, it is hard. I won't lie about that. When the internet was new, a lot of old businesses died. People had to learn completely new ways to work.
That's true.
But the internet also created the modern world. It brought millions of people out of poverty and gave us jobs we couldn't even imagine before. AI is just the next big tool.
The internet was a way to talk and share things, though. It didn't think for us. It didn't write our code or read our papers. That is a huge difference.
It is different, yes.
And that is why I think we need to be very careful. So just to summarize my side of this, AI is an amazing tool, yes, but we cannot ignore the real danger it brings to normal office workers.
The risk of losing jobs.
Exactly. The change is going to be very hard, especially for young people and beginners who need simple tasks to practice and grow. We are looking at a future where a few rich experts do great with AI, but normal workers just lose their jobs. Just telling people to adapt is not enough to keep them safe.
And to summarize my side, the way we work is always changing. It always has. AI is not here to kill all our jobs. It is here to expand them. It takes away the boring robotic tasks and helps us do what humans do best.
If we can learn to use it.
Right. The numbers show that people who learn to use AI get paid much more money. If we focus on our human skills like judgment, empathy, and teamwork, and we treat AI like a smart helper, we will do amazing things.
Well, I think we can both agree on one thing for sure.
What's that?
AI is going to totally change the office. The most important skill anyone can have in the next 10 years is an open mind. You have to be ready to learn new things and let go of the old ways of working.
Exactly. The workplace of tomorrow is going to have totally different rules than the workplace of today. Will AI take your job? Maybe. But the bigger question is, how will your job change?